Good morning. Starting on our backs with a block or whatever you have nearby. So just take off my shoes. Under your sacrum in the lowest height. So go ahead and let your body weight settle down onto the block or pillows, bolsters, whatever you have. And for now, just start with your feet about max width apart and let your knees turn inward. Place the right hand on your heart, left hand on your abdomen. I'm just going to turn this way a little bit so I'm not rude to anybody. And start to breathe against the palm of your hands. So fill up the belly, fill up the chest. And let your body parts connect to your hands just by engaging a longer breath, a fuller breath, but still a sweet and smooth breath. So knees are turned in, relax the glutes, and just find these beautiful full breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and emptying out. And on your next inhaling breath, take your arms and make them like cactus arms out by your shoulders, palms open, and let the soles of the feet come together, and let the knees fall open. And if this makes you clench your glutes for any reason, widen your legs, just try to take any stress out of the back side of the body or any of your real true muscular action right now. Let's just keep it breathing as our muscular action. And then notice if you gaze down the tip of your nose that the belly, the abdomen rise, that the chest rises. And then the exhale allows it to fall down. A few more rounds of breath right here. On your next inhaling breath, once again, bend the knee or bring the legs closer together, but don't let the knees fall in, and let the arms stretch all the way overhead. Hook one thumb in front of the other, and reach your arms back on the floor behind you. If it feels okay for your back, stretch your legs out in front of you. There might be a small to larger arch. If that's not comfortable for you, then bend your knees again. And then reach your fingers away from your toes, so reaching in two directions. Reach right side, then left side. Just kind of, shift a little bit right side, left side for a few breaths. Find the maximum length of your waistline. And then let your body surrender. Relax the glutes, relax the shoulders. While you're back there, just switch the thumb cross, so just put it to the less traditional, less probably comfortable way for you. And again, on this next inhaling breath, bend your knees, release your arms. Lift your hips up so you can remove the block. Articulate your spine down and hug both knees up to your chest. Place the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. That's my allergies. Just take your hands, and they say allergies are going to get worse. Take your hands and make circles with your legs in both directions. So start with both hands on the legs and move the legs away from each other and back together towards each other. And then reverse that positioning. Use your hands to help guide you. And then make your way back to center. Hug your knees all the way into your chest. Wrap your your fingers around your ankles, shins, wherever you can, or maybe you grab up to your wrists, ankle, elbows. As long as the tailbone stays on the floor, lengthen it out. Start to find some really long length of the spine. One more breath. And on the exhaling breath, lift your head and shoulders up, round and curl your spine. Inhale, release your head. Cross one ankle over the other. Grab a hold of the ankles, kind of like a crisscross happy baby. And then start to rock your spine up and down like you would perhaps do a Pilates roll up, and then come up, or rolling like a ball. Come up into a seated position. You have one leg in front of the other. Send your weight away from your sitting bones. You can have your blocks up to the side, or just your hands come down. Reach your fingertips all the way out to the side. Drop your shoulders back and down. Bring your collarbones forward, crown of the head to the sky. Inhale, lift the left arm up and over to the right side. Turn your torso a little bit to the left. That's it. Reach your fingers long away from your center, rotating at the torso. Inhale, you can look up or down, your choice. Exhale, bring your left hand outside your right leg and lift your spine. Take your right arm up and back behind you, fingertips on the floor behind you, giving you length to your spine, and then the depth as you exhale to your spine. If you feel like my spine, I just heard the whole back settle into it. Right arm comes up and lean over to the left side. So kind of the same thing we did, but we're leaning on the other side. Then cross the arms in front of you, lift your chest. And then exhale, chin to chest, roll backwards away from your sitting bones. Inhale, rise up, bring the arms with you overhead, and let them fall out to the side. Lean back and shake out your legs and switch the cross of your legs. So remember, it's probably the one you always used was up front first. And then adjust yourself, so move from side to side. Reach your arms out to the sides, lift your chest up, shoulders down. Inhale, bring the right arm up and over to the left side. And then spin your torso so you open up towards the right side. Shoulders drop down. Keep grounding your right hip to the earth. One more breath. Good. Take the right arm outside the left thigh. Lift your torso. Take your left arm behind you. Tense your fingers. Lengthen. Inhale. Twist. Exhale. Good. Inhale for length. Exhale for depth. Then take your left arm up and over to the right side. Again, grounding yourself, rotating. Use your hand against your leg to help you rotate the torso. And then exhale, left hand on right knee. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Good. Exhale, round away from your center point like you got punched in the stomach. Inhale, reach all the way back up. Exhale, bring both hands behind your back. Lean back, shake out your legs, and take them around to either side. Come onto your hands and knees. Have your blocks nearby if you have them. And if you don't have blocks, books are helpful. You can use water bottles. Sometimes people do that. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and turn your fingers so they face your knees with your elbow creases turning forward. Tuck your toes underneath you. Lift your heart. Drop your belly, and exhale, top of the foot, shin down, tuck your tailbone, let your head come down. Inhale, lengthen your spine, tuck your toes, so it's a little cat-cow with a turned arm, so it might feel a little bit strange, and it might be, get as big a range of motion with your body. Inhale, back to neutral. Turn your fingers so they point towards each other. Inhale, lengthen. Now exhale, drop your chin, chest, bend the elbows out to the side, so like an outward push-up. Come back down, stretch your chest, straighten your arms, and do a couple of those on your own. Go as deep or as shallow as you need. Let your body be the guide here in this class, in every class. Come back to center. Widen your knees a little bit, touch your toes, and sit back on your heels as you extend your arms out in front of you. Spread your fingers apart, There's a slight rotation at the shoulder, turning the hands a little bit to the corners of the mat. You have an L shape between your thumb and your forefinger. And then pull your hips back to your heels and let your body surrender, but keep the arms active as we start to get a little bit more action in the body. Early parts of the morning. This is early for some. Take another breath in. Walk over to your right side, left hand on top of the right, and press your left hip all the way down to the floor, or towards the floor. And just notice where the breath goes, where the tension lies. You can look under your left arm, or some people like to look over their right arm. Let your neck be the guide on that one. And then inhaling, walk through the center to the other side. I like to look under the right arm, but some people like to look under the left. Relax your neck, shoulders, and find that stretch across the right side of your torso. Inhale, come up, back to center. Spread your fingers. Lift up to your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders or slightly in front, knees under hips. Tuck your toes back to that cat-cow, this time with a traditional arm. Exhale, round and curl. And do a couple rounds of your cat-cows. And also know and remember that you can always be in child's pose anytime you'd like. And then next time you come back to the neutral position, somewhere between the two, bring your crown of your head forward. Step your right foot in between your two hands or on your blocks. Send your left knee back a little bit further so you're not sitting directly on top of your kneecap. Shoulders pull back in, yeah? Oh, good morning. Breathe in, breathe out. So just a nice low lunge where we release. Oh, I'm gonna actually mute you. Okay. So we're getting a nice release on the left hip flexors. And then if you have blocks, you might want to lift them a little higher and bring them back as you straighten the front leg. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. You can choose the toes up or down. I'm going to let you make the choice this morning. Inhale with length in the spine. All I ask for is the length in the spine. And pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. And then let's take that a couple times in both directions. Lunge forward, drop your hip. Straighten your front leg, go back. And go ahead, keep doing that on your own for a few breaths. And you know, it's your breath. We're all going to breathe differently. And the next time you're in a front knee bend, stay there. Take your left hand down on the floor block, right hand to your hip. Turn over to the right side, bring your right arm up, stretch it to the sky, and think about finding length in your spine so that you are not resting or collapsing your belly on your thigh. Reach in two directions, like you're being pulled to the sky. And then exhale, hands to the floor or blocks. Tuck your back toes underneath you, lift the knee up, and step into a downward dog. First dog of the morning, or maybe it is for me. Walk your feet right and left side. Send your weight back away from your hands. Just shifting the weight ever so slightly away from the front of your body towards your back body. And for some of us, bending the knees here helps us lift the hips a little higher. And then let's settle into our downward facing dog. So the same thing with our child's pose. Our arms are slightly rotated out at the shoulders. The elbow creases point towards the front. The thumb and the forefinger create an L shape. And then lift on your toes and engage your quadricep muscles by pulling the knees up. Pull the pelvic floor muscles up. Shift into a high plank position, top of a push-up. You can drop your knees now or keep your legs strong. And then spread your shoulders apart. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Push back to your downward facing dog. Chest to your thighs, head hangs down. Rise again on your toes. Come back to your high plank position, strong plank position for your core. Everything is active in this pose. Lower your right knee to the floor and step your left foot in between the 2 feet. Hands on blocks or floors. And then, or the floor. Bring your back leg back a little bit so you're not sitting on top of your back knee. Shoulders back, collarbones forward. Think about pressing the left big toe, ball of foot, heel of foot down in the earth. And then it's as if you're drawing your heel back towards your back leg to activate a little bit into the back side of your body. And the right leg is releasing through the psoas, the hip flexors. Should feel really good if you sit a lot. I'll have some of that coffee. I don't get my coffee till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then on the next inhale, turn your blocks up if you need to, pull them back, and straighten over the left leg. So straight is, it's going to be different for all of us. Lengthen your spine, fold over your legs. So let your body be the guide here. Inhale and exhale. Try not to cheat yourself by bringing your toe up off the floor. You can bring all the toes up off the floor, but don't roll onto your left side. Inhale, rebend the knee, lift your chest, drop your hips. And then do this a couple times, straightening and folding, inhaling and bending. Just, juicing up your little joints there. They're not so little, these are big joints. And the next time you have a bent knee, let's stay there. Right hand's gonna stay on the floor. Left hand moves to your hip as you turn to the left side. Stack your shoulders, and then left arm perhaps comes up as you rotate. So first you wanna find the length in your torso that will allow you to rotate even deeper. Hug your left hip into center, pull your left heel back towards your right heel. So there's a lot of action going on that we can't really see, but we can feel on the inside. Exhale, lower your hands. Tuck your back toes under. This time I want you to step to the top of your mat. All together, top of the mat. Take 2 fists in between your feet so that you are about hips width apart. Bend your knees enough that your chest and belly or your belly is resting on your thighs. And then let your head come down so the crown of the head points towards the floor. Shift your weight forward and back, and then settle into all 4 corners, being fully pressed into the earth, strong. Take your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, palms together if you can, and then press your arms away from your back. Inhale, lengthen your spine, so come up a little bit. And as you exhale, begin to straighten your legs and fold over. It doesn't matter how straight your legs get, right? Everybody, again, is going to be different here as well. Especially when it's like first thing in the morning and you haven't really loosened up all these joints. Take another breath. Good. Using the strength of your legs, but pulling back with your arms, lengthen your spine to come up to standing. Bring your arms down behind you, lift your chest up. And then release your arms and roll your shoulders back. Spread your palms open, spread your fingers wide. Lift up your toes and do the same thing with your toes. Spread them open and then place them down one at a time on the floor. Inhale, bring the arms all the way over your head. Cross opposite elbows. Bring your ribs down towards your hips so you're not arching your lower back and sticking your ribs all the way out. Lift up like you're being pulled from the crown of your head up and grounding through your feet. So now, big toe, little toe, ball of foot, heel are pressing into the earth. And then think about pulling your pinky toes towards the edges of your mat so your outer hips start to feel a little action. Lift up and over to the right side. Open up your heart. Breathe. Similar to what we did on the floor, but our arms are behind our head. Inhale back to center. Maybe switch the cross of your arms. It's funky. Lift out of your waistline. Keep the legs as strong and active as they were when you were standing still. And then bend over to the left side. Right arm pulls back. Heart opens up. Breathe. Think about how strong your legs are to support this mountain. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands to your back. Fingers in either direction. Lift your chest all the way up. And then lead with your heart to fold over your legs. Release your hands to the floor or blocks and just have them line up with your toes. So it's like the fingers are an extension of your toes. Breathe in, halfway lift, and then empty out, forward fold, let it go. Send your weight forward to the balls of your feet. Shake out your head, yes and no. Inhale, lengthen your spine, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, fold again. And then rise to stand, pressing down firmly through your feet. Take your arms with you all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Good, you can keep your feet wide or bring them a little closer for the next moments. Inhale, bring the arms all the way back up overhead. Exhale, forward fold through the center. Hands on floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, look forward and step your right foot back. You're in a low lunge. Knee over the ankle, hips are squared, look forward. And then step into a downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Inhale on your tippy toes. Shift into a high plank. Lower your knees to the floor. Allow your chin and chest, belly to the floor. Low cobra on the inhale. Lift your chest up. Take your hands off the floor so you know that your back is doing the work here, not your hands. We have time for that. Legs are active, top of the foot, shin down, and keep your chin parallel to the floor. Exhale, head, chest down. Sit on your heels and tuck your toes. Right from here, lift your knees up in the air, hips up, downward facing dog. Now, either you're going to drop your left knee to the floor and step forward, or you're going to step your right foot to the front of the mat. Look forward, step left foot to right foot, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, let it all come down. Inhale, press down to rise up. Bring the arms with you overhead. Exhale, take the prayer to your heart. Arms down by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands on floor, shins, blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot steps all the way back. Low lunge, just settle here for a moment. You can always bring your knee to the floor. And then find your way to downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Inhale on your toes. Shift forward to high plank. Lower your knees and lay yourself on the floor. Low cobra. Lift just your chest. Lift your arms. Strong legs. Exhale, come back. Sit on your heels, tuck your toes first. And then lift your hips in the air. Inhale. Exhale, the left foot's going to come forward. Either you drop your right knee or you just keep it where it is. Look forward, step together, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way over your legs. Inhale, rise, stand all the way up. Bring the hands to prayer. Exhale, the arms to your heart. Arms by your side. Inhale, let's do that again. Arms up. Exhale, fold down through the center. Hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps all the way back, big lunge. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale to your high plank. Exhale, knees down, lay your belly on the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Good, exhale, sit to your heels and tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Either you drop the left knee and step forward or step the right foot all the way forward. Left leg meets right leg, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise to stand, bring the arms with you. And then bring prayer to your heart center. One more time, other side. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold through center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Hold the low lunge for the breath. Inhale, downward dog as you exhale. Inhale to a high plank, look forward. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, sit on your heels, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And then choose to either bring your right knee to the floor or just step all the way forward, left leg first. Right leg meets top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise to stand, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, take prayer to your heart center. Inhale, arms by your side and place your hands now on your hips. Level out your hips. Step open, let's step our left foot back and turn to the left side of your mat. So wherever you are in your room, if you don't have the space for whatever reason, then adjust yourself. So your hands are on your hips are level, tailbone tucks, shoulders roll back and around, collarbones are spread open, crown of the head to the sky as the chin is parallel. Remember how we had the feet where we were pressing them, imagining that we're pushing the pinky edges to the outer edge of the mat. So now we're doing the same thing again on the short edges of our mat. Lift your heart on an inhale and fold over on an exhale. Come about halfway down, soften your knees as much as you need to, and keep the crown of the head to the tailbone nice and long. Inhale. Exhale. Place your hands to the floor or block. Lengthen your spine, inhale. And exhale, fold over your legs, head down towards the floor. Shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet. And you can like rock your hips a little side to side just to relieve it a little bit. And then lengthen your spine, come back to center, inhale. And then exhale, grab a hold of the outer edges of your feet. Make a little ledge for your hands to rest on your feet. And then draw your elbows out to the side and be conscious that the knees don't go backwards, but there's a soft bend. Weight to the balls of your feet, so there's no hyperextension of the knee here. Inhale. And exhale, pull it a little closer. Good. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Release your hands to your hips. Come back up to that halfway lift position so your back is flat, head in line with your tailbone. It's a strong position. And then inhale, the torso comes up. And now take your arms out, shoulder height, palms down. So if you're in the right placement, your hands should be somewhere right over your feet. Right arm forward, left arm back. Turn your right toes to the front of the mat. Turn your left toes a little bit to the front of the mat. Bend your right knee, warrior two. Knee is over the second, third toe in line with your hip. Spiral your thighs open and draw your heels towards each other. Warrior two, strong pose. Pull back more with your left arm than you think, so your shoulders stack. Right thigh, maybe for some, parallel to the floor. If you look in the textbook, that's what you'll see, but we're not, living textbook lives. Take your left arm down, right arm up. Lean back to your left side. Pull your left hip towards your right knee. Spiral your thigh open because the tendency is to roll in and with your knee, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Not changing the legs, come back to warrior two. Reach a little forward with your torso. Place your right hand inside or on a block. Right knee bends a little bit more, stack your shoulders. Upper thighs rotate out, left arm is over right arm. Inhale. And exhale. Take another breath here. Good, release your left hand to the floor. Spin your torso forward. So right now both hands are going to be on the inside of the right leg. Bring the right hand to your right hip. Lower the knee if you'd like. Right arm up in that twist that we did on our knee. I don't know, feels like yesterday, but it was only a short while ago. Breathe in, reach your right hand up, left hand down. Lift the left knee up nice and strong, but keep your hips low. One more breath in the twist. On the exhaling breath, both hands are on the floor on either side of the legs or on your blocks. Begin to straighten your front leg. If you need to shorten your stance or put your blocks underneath you or your books, whatever you have, lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, fold and pull the right hip back, left hip forward. One more breath. Good, as you inhale, rebend your front knee. Step to a downward facing dog. Hips up in the air. Inhale on your toes. Shift your body weight forward, high plank position. Now either do what we've been doing and go to your knees, or some of you will take your arms and bend them with a straight leg, and then roll through for your big back bend, upward facing dog, where your thighs are off the floor, top of the foot shin down, or top of the foot down. Roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Bring your feet together at the back of your mat. Lift your left leg high in the sky. Open your left hip to the left side. You can bend the knee and play with it, or you can keep it straight. Just work on squaring your shoulders more than, all the other things going on. And then turn your hips square. Bring your left knee to your chest as if you were going to do, a little plank position. But we're going to step the left leg all the way through this time. We're going to turn to the right side of the mat. Lengthen your spine, bring your hands to your hips, and rise up to stand. So we're doing what we did on the other side. Your feet are wide, one leg length apart. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Lift your knees up so that they're not collapsing in or hyperextending. Press firmly through the feet as the pinky edges of the feet pull outward. So you'll feel this action in your outer hip. And then inhale the arms up over or shoulder height, palms down. Hands will be resting right over the toes or over the feet. So if your arms are longer than your legs, widen your legs. Take a breath in. Good. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers the unusual way. One finger over. Knuckles down, heart lifts. Squeeze your elbows, chest, shoulders towards each other, chest opens. And then fold down halfway. Just halfway. Shift your weight forward. Crown of the head and tailbone line up in the same line. Your arms can be off your back, a lot or little. Inhale. And exhale. And then take it all the way down and lift the arms away from your back. Head down, arms up. Take another breath. Okay, now release your arms here. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Once again, bring the hands on your hips and lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Press down through your feet to rise up. Turn your left toes to the front. Turn your right toes to the front. Open up the arms again, bend your left knee. Make sure you have the proper distance between your 2 feet. The back foot is turning in towards the front diagonal corner. Left knee is bent. Now pull back with your right arm. Pull forward with your left. Think about opening your upper thighs away from each other while squeezing your inner heels towards each other. And then the arms are active. Strong arms. Pull your elbows up and in so you're activating biceps. Strong. Breathe. Without changing your legs, take another breath. Unless you're going deeper. Right arm down, left arm up. Lift up and over to the side. And maybe even think about pulling your right hip towards your left knee a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Come back to warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale. Lean your torso a little forward. Left hand on the inside or a block. Right arm comes up. Side angle pose. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Legs are strong. Very nice, ladies. Breathe. Gents, if you're watching this, inhale. Good. Without anything, any drama. Right hand comes down. Turn your back foot forward. Keep your right hand down and then take your left hand to your hip. Turn to the left side. And then perhaps you take your arm up overhead, stacking your shoulders, twisting to the left side. Back leg is strong and active. One more breath. Good. Exhale, hands on floor blocks. Straighten your front leg and fold over it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Go around your back. Keep looking towards the front of your mat. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now rebend your front knee. Place your hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Knees can be on the floor as well. Inhale on your toes, shift forward. Decide if you want to go down through a push-up, skip a push-up, add push-ups, bring your knees to the floor. I mean, there's just numerous ways of getting there. We meet in downward dog. Bring your feet together. Inhale, float your right leg off the floor. You can open the hip and bend the knee if you like, or just open the hip. Keep your arms actively pulling the right arm down. Look between your hands and bring your right leg all the way through. Good. So you're in a low lunge, right leg forward. Turn your left foot on its side. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Take a block if you have it on the inside of your right foot, on any of the three heights. And then begin to straighten your right leg, stacking your shoulders open. So triangle with our left hand on our hip. Crown of the head reaches probably towards your camera for most of you. Without changing the legs, stand up and bring the right arm up overhead. Adjust yourself so your left toes, they're not all the way to the left. They're still turning towards the front, but your shoulders align. So bring your hands back onto both hands on the hips. Align your shoulders. And then once again, reach your arms out shoulder height. Strong, active legs. You might have to shorten your stance. Let that be, your body's decision. Move your hips to the left. Reach out towards the front of your mat. And then place the right hand either on the block, inside or outside of the foot, on your shin, big toe grip, on your thigh, and lift up. And then just think about what's going on in the torso for a moment. As the legs are strong always. We're going to rotate the torso so the shoulders are on top of each other. Left arm is up. Inhale. And exhale. Triangle pose. Strong and active. You can always bring your right knee to the floor. Take another breath. Inhale. Come back up. Straight leg. Reverse your triangle. Exhale, windmill down. Let's bring the left hand on the floor block. Right arm up, open twist. Back to that. Lengthen your spine. Find the space to grow into. And then go ahead and lower your left knee to the floor. Send it back a little further so you're not on your kneecap. Take your right arm behind you, thumb up. And now if you want, see if you can catch your foot in your hand. That might not happen for everybody. Don't worry if it doesn't. Just work on opening the shoulder. And then think about hugging your hips towards the midline. Dropping your left foot down. And if you're holding the foot, let it go. Take your right hand, bring it on the inside of your right leg. Turn your right toes out to the right. And either stay upright on your hands or come to your forearms or a block. So, using something to elevate your arms might be easiest for some. Good release for your hips. If you sit a lot, this is a nice release. Now, no judgment here. How you get to this place doesn't matter to me. But we're going to end up on our forearms in a plank. So if you're there on your forearms and you can, tuck your left toes under and just send your right leg back. And find yourself in that forearm plank. Elbows under shoulders, strong pose. Or just get your forearms to the floor and lift your knees up. We're only here for another breath. Open your arms up shoulder width. Shift a little forward. And lower your hips to the floor. Lift your chest, Sphinx pose. Good. So lift your chest doesn't mean drop your head back, right? I don't like to shorten the cervical spine. So keep your head, indicate your chin parallel to the floor. Let your eye gaze go up or even forward. And then pull your elbows towards your hips and lift your belly off the floor. So we're just getting as much stretch in our back as we are for our back as we can. And then go ahead and sit back on your heels for child's pose. Extend your arms and tuck your toes. Inhale back to your downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Inhale your left leg in the air. Look between your hands and step it all the way through. However you get there, no judgments. Right foot turns in. Well, actually, I think we straighten the leg. We're going to turn our right foot. Left hand is on the inside or on a block. Actually, I'm going to have you bend the knee first. Right hand moves to your hip. And then begin to straighten your left leg. And put the block or the pillows or the books underneath your left hand. So the back toes are turning slightly to the front, a couple degrees. Front toes are all the way to the front. Right hand is on your hip. Inhale. And then lift yourself up. Bring both hands to your hips. As you turn your hips and shoulders, you're going to drop the right hip down to level off your hips a little bit. And you might need to shorten your back leg in a little bit. Arms open out, shoulder height. Find strength in the legs by drawing the heels together, thighs apart. Inhale. Move your hips right. Reach your torso left. Triangle pose. Left arm down, inside, outside, foot shin or on a block. And then once you get that positioning, begin to rotate your torso open. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Tuck your left hip underneath your right. Lift your knees up. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot. Everything strong on the floor. So nice side body stretch and strengthener. Arms are strong. Don't forget about the arms. And definitely don't forget about the legs. Inhale. Rise up. Reverse this with your right arm down, left arm up. And again, a nice stretch for the side of your body. Inhale, we're going to come back. Rewind our hands to the floor. Right hand on the floor block. Right leg is back, left knee is bent, and we have that open twist. Hug your hips towards midline. So it's kind of like twist and counter twist. And rotate. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale. Hands on the inside of your left leg, right knee to the floor. And then just choose where your arms can be. They could be out in front of you a little bit. They could be on blocks or on the floor. And so again, it's very individual. Every one of us, might strive towards the same thing and look very different. And that's perfectly okay. So this is a pretty big deep hip opener. Release. Find some resilience. Find your breath. And on the next breath, somehow or other, we're going to find our way to a forearm plank. Tuck your back toes under, step your left foot back, and your elbows are under your shoulders. Your knees are off the floor. Of course, if you need the knees on the floor, that's fine. This time, take a breath. Lift your hips up. You're in dolphin pose as you walk your feet towards your hands. The hips go in the air. The shoulders are over the elbows. Breathe. Push down through your forearms so you have some energy not dumping into your neck. And then you walk your feet up as much as you can. Stay with this. Or maybe lift the right leg in the air. If you at home or on the camera have a forearm balance, this is a good time to play with that. But, just know your body and where you are. Feel free to get to a ball. If your right leg is up, bring it down and switch legs. Left leg goes high in the sky. Inhale. Good. Exhale, both feet on the floor. And then go ahead and let your knees come to the floor. Sit on your heels and bring your arms up overhead and bring your hands to your heart. Now, sitting on the heels isn't something that you do. You can put a block or two underneath your heels or between your sitting bones. Take a breath. Close your eyes. And then open your eyes and stretch your arms all the way overhead. Once again, take your left arm outside right leg, right arm behind you, and twist. Inhale tall. Exhale deep. Inhale, arms up, face front. And take it to the other side. Right arm outside left thigh, left arm behind you. Inhale tall. Exhale deep. Inhale back to center, arms up. Exhale, hands down, tuck your toes underneath you. Have a seat on your heels. Walk your hands back underneath you. Lower your heels to the floor, separate your feet, and fold your body in half. Let your hands be in front of your feet. So it's like if you have a handstand, that would be where you're going, but we're not going into that now. But certainly take it if that's in your practice. Inhale. And exhale. So work at straightening the legs a little bit or a lot, just not hyperextending. Push the weight into the heel of the hand or shift the weight forward, I should say, so that the weight's going to the bottoms of your feet. And your hands are kind of just stopping you from falling over. And let your head come down. Rise onto your fingertips as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to your hips, keep the long spine as you come up to standing. Arms down by your side. Inhale, bring your right leg up and your arms overhead. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your right leg out in front of you. Nice. Step it down about 2-3 feet in front of you. Hinge forward. Take your left leg off the floor. Parallel hips. Warrior 3. Toes down. Inhale, bring your left knee to your chest. Arms up. Balance. Extend your left leg out. Step it down. You're towards the front of your mat. Hinge forward. Hands to prayer. Right hip back, toes down. Inhale, right knee to the chest, arms up. Place the foot down. Bend your knees, chair pose. Take prayer to your heart. Left elbow outside right thigh. Sit your weight down. Draw your hips a little right. Lift your belly off your thighs. Inhale. And exhale. Trying to get your weight out of your knees. That's nice. Turn your hips a little more centered, Maxine. A little bit more towards your right leg. Yeah. Good. Inhale back to center. Fold over your legs. Hang your head. Inhale halfway. Arms come up overhead. Feet down. Round your feet. Exhale, bend your knees. Sit back in chair. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep the length in your torso as you rotate to the outside of your left leg with your right arm. And then look down. Make sure the right knee is not sneaking forward. Drop your seat low and lift your belly up off your thighs. Good. That's it. Breathe. So you're shifting your weight back out of your toes so your knees are not affected, and sitting your weight a little bit towards your left hip so that your right hip moves back. One more breath. Inhale, come center and forward fold over your legs, separate your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale one more time. Step to a high plank position. Lower to your push-up position or skip it. We'll meet in our final downward dog. Heart lifts. And then downward dog. Good. Now, as we started, we're going to bring the left knee down, actually, and bring the left leg in front of the right, crossing the ankles. So we're sitting in easy pose. Crossing one ankle in front of the other. I made it the left in front of the right. So sit in comfortable pose. Your heels are underneath your knees. Thanks, easy. And then move your weight a little bit side to side. Place your hands on top of your thighs. Depress your shoulders. So push down on your thighs and push your shoulders with it. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a moment of quiet. Then open your eyes and stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, reach your hands in front of you. Walk your hands forward to the point where you might be lifting your hips up. And if your hips lift up, back it off a little bit, or see if you can ground them. Keep walking your hands forward and walking your hips back. Inhale. And exhale. Find your deepest stretch. Now, I gave you the leg that's in front, so it may not be your favored leg. So you might feel a little stuck. That's okay, we'll leave into that in a second. Inhale, walk your hands back in, lift your chest up. Lean back on your hands. Bring your feet out, hips width apart, and lift your hips into a reverse tabletop position. Head can drop back if that's good for you. Inhale. And then exhale, your hips come down. Right leg in front of left. And if you did it that way first, do the other side. So that your heels are underneath your knees. Good. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, walk forward, walk your hands out. Shoulders back. Welcome back. We're on the other leg, right leg in front in a seated cross-legged. One more breath. Good. Walk your hands back in. Bring your hands behind you. Let go. Shake out your legs. Place your feet on the floor. Do the reverse tabletop. We're almost there, girls. You got this. And then exhale, bring your hips to the floor. Good. Walk yourself. I'm going to just adjust my mat a little bit so you can see a little bit more of me in a good way. So move your hips forward so that when you do lie down on the mat, your head is supported, right? You're not on the floor. And then keep your knees bent. Good. All right. Hold underneath your knees, lift your chest up. And then stay upright as you release your hands. And if you can't stay upright, if you release your hands, hold on to your thighs. Bring your chin to your chest, pull your belly into your spine, round your back. Hi, Maxine, I don't see you. I don't know if you're there again. Roll down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the floor, bring your knees up to your chest. And now let's take a happy baby. Take the bottoms of your feet to the sky. Hold on to your big toe, little toe. Just remember, and I can't see it, so I can't tell you if your tailbone is on the floor, but try to press your tailbone to the floor. So you don't want to be lifting all the way off the floor here. There you go. I'm Maxine. So you're in a happy baby pose. I can see you now. Or maybe you can't hear it. And rock a little side to side. Come back to center. You can either hold on to your toes or switch your hands to somewhere else and straighten your legs into a straddle. Keep lengthening the tailbone onto the earth. Can you not hear me, Maxine? Check it. I don't know if you can't hear me. Bring your feet back together. Open your arms to the side. Bend your knees. And place your feet back on the floor. Raise your heels now with your hands. So reach your fingertips towards your heels. Tilt your pelvis so your pubic bone points up. Firmly ground your feet to the floor. And then peel yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Keep your arms where they are for now. Same action as if we're standing. Big toe, little toe, both at the heel, and then pushing out away from your center, right? So the pinky toes are pointing towards the edges of your mat, or pressing towards the edges of your mat. Then go ahead and take your arms underneath your back, interlace your fingers, reach your hands out. I love that. You get an E for effort. If you're in the bridge, release your arms upper, mid, lower, back to the floor. Turn your knees towards each other like you started way back. You can rock it side to side. Now I can hear you. Turn your toes forward, heels forward. Inhale, tilt your pelvis, lift your hips up off the floor. I would take your arms underneath you, or if you want to take it to a full wheel, hands by your shoulders. Come to the top of your head, and then lift yourself up off your back into your back bend. It's your choice if you go there. Inhale. Top of the head. And come down. Hug your knees up to your chest. And once again, open your arms to a T. Shift your hips to the right side and let your knees fall to the left side. Inhale back to center. Shift your hips left, let your knees fall to the right. Inhale on your back. Hug your knees up to your chest. Round and curl your spine. Let your head come down and stretch your legs out in front of you. Stretch your arms all the way back. Take a big breath in. And then exhale. Arms by your side. I'm just going to mute you again. And let your arms rest by your side. Let your hips splay open. Come into your final Shavasana, your final rest. If there's anything else you'd like, feel free to take it and make your way to Shavasana when you're ready. Let your body melt and surrender into the earth. Let your thoughts be still. Let your breath be smooth, but go back to your breath. That's your natural breath. Stay as long as you like in your Shavasana. Turn off the music to sound away peacefully. Or begin to bring yourselves back up. Okay. Come back a little bit, breathing a little bit deeper, moving small movements at first. Draw your knees to your chest and take yourself onto either side.
taking your hands to your heart center, acknowledging yourselves for making it to the mat this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Always, it's an honor to practice with you and guide you. Om Shanti, 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 Om peace, peace, peace. Bowing down, honoring each other, the light, the peace, the goodness, the love within. Namaste, Satnam. Go in peace. If you're at home, stay home, stay fit, stay healthy. Get vaxxed, wear a mask.